Oh my gosh. So, hello everyone. I'm excited today, really happy because this video is gonna be done completely without distractions. You guys know when I make video from home, there's a lot of distraction. My kids are coming in, they are saying things that they think I'm saying that I don't practice with them. So there's always a buzz boost in the house. But today we don't have to worry about anything. I'm making this video from the office, so we're gonna have a complete section. So right, so that makes me really happy. That makes me really happy. So welcome back. It's your girl. I'm always talking about parenting tips that helps us to raise confident, respectful children that we're proud of. We parent, especially here in this part of the world, here in United States. So okay, so today I'll be talking about something totally unexpected, you know, in terms of parenting. Really? So let's talk about something nobody really prepares for. Raising emotionally healthy children in two different homes. Yes, you heard me right, in two different homes. And we're going to be talking about this today. It's really emotional for me because of the experiences and real life scenarios that I will be bringing in here today in this discussion. So like I say, your girl, parenting tips that helps us raise confident, respectful children that we are always proud of as parents. When I talk about parents, I'm not talking about just nuclear section of the family. I'm talking about single mom, single dad, divorced parents, separated, and as long as you're parenting, you are always welcome to this platform. And if you've been following me, thank you very much for the likes or the subscription. I really appreciate you guys. And so let's go straight to the business of the day. So, right, I am totally excited today because, like I said, this video is gonna be going through no distractions, no booze glass. You guys know how these kids come around every time I'm making a video. I can literally not control myself, and so sometimes I have to react. The mom in me comes out. So let's talk about that. So, like I said, raising kids in different homes, not one home, not one parenting styles, no one set of rules. You get me right? No one set of rules. So two homes, two standard, two emotions, two wounded adults trying their best. So that's the way we're gonna look at it. And the child is just trying to survive. Do you understand what I just said? The child or the children, the kids involved, they're only trying to survive. It's not their fault that they have found a cutoff in the situation or the scenario of parenting styles that they are being stuck in. Ooh. So as a mom, like you guys don't know, I'm a mental health provider, a nurse practitioner, and I still work PRN jobs of nursing, bedside job once in a while. So my hands are full, right? Yes. And so that's why I always want to talk about parenting because my hands are full. I'm a nurse practitioner, I work as a mental health provider, work as a nurse, still do PRN nursing jobs. It's always been like a hustle, but we're always there. We want to make sure the kids get, you know, the best that we can do for them. So, yes. And today, we are trying to talk about divorce and separation, really what it really does to our children and how we can stop unintentionally breaking the very keys we are trying to protect. That's what I bring to the table today. How we parents can try to like unintentionally, stop breaking these keys. We're trying so much to protect, we're trying so much to care for, we're trying so much to make sure we fix them or help them to be the adult that we can sit and be proud and depend on tomorrow. Because yes, when we get older, who do we look up to? The kids. In the hospital, you want your children to come in, you want them to make decisions, help you, and that stage will definitely come. So we're looking forward to raising those kids, man. So guys, let's get ready. We're going right back. So one of the first tips I want to talk about today, like I'm talking really excited. I'm happy because I know we are going to get through this today. And if you listen to this video to the end, you will come back later and thank me because I got some beautiful tips and real life scenarios to share with us today. So today, one of the challenge I want to talk about is challenge of raising kids in separate homes is what the competition parenting tip. So that's the one thing I want to handle today. The competition parenting tip. You can put that down. So one parent want to do what? Prove I'm the better parent. The kids likes me more. They are happier with me. You understand? So then what happened? If you're better parenting, or they like you more, and then you make things happen the better. So what happens? Fewer rules, they begin to set up fewer rules, they buy the kids more gifts, more leniency, undermining the other parent. So what are we trying to achieve? This comes a lot when it comes to competition, parenting too, style. So what happened? How does this make the children feel? Emotional conflict, loyalty conflict set in, and then guilty for loving the other parent. You start making the kids feel guilty for loving the other parent, afraid to speak freely, and they're responsible for protecting one parent's, feelings. You're making the child begin to do too much. They become emotional caretakers instead of being children that they are supposed to be. So let me tell you something. As a mental health provider, I always say this. I don't just want to do this as a mother, a mom, a wife, faith-based person trying to like inspire us to do well in terms of parenting. But let me tell you from the perspective of a mental health provider, what this does to the children is when the child becomes the emotional support system for an adult, that child grows up too fast and carries anxiety into adulthood. Yes, you want to make them grow up too fast because they want to be there for the parents. They're the one providing emotional support, trying to make sure, oh, I don't want my father and my mom to feel this way. I want to do this. They're like carrying too much. It makes them grow up too fast. And they grow up into adulthood with anxiety. They grow up with anxiety into adulthood. So let me tell you one thing again. There's something called inconsistent structure that leads to emotional insecurity when this happens in the lives of children. So, okay, I'll go down on that for now. So when you're bringing kids from, they're coming from different homes, coming to this home, some things, that we need to consider, different bedtimes, different discipline rules, different expectation, different moral messaging. So children thrive on what? Predictability, because they don't even know what the expectation is going to be from one home to the other. And when structure constantly shifts, the brain stays in mild stress mode because the structures are constantly, so they are being stressed. They're thinking of how to adopt, how things can go on, and chronic stress in children can show up as what? Anxiety, behavioral problems, school struggles, anger outbursts, depression, and identity confusion. So I'm going to go over this again. So when this happens, the kids are beginning to be impacted in a negatively way. But this is not what we're trying to do as parents in the lives of our children. We're trying to raise kids that we are trying to protect, make them, build them up in a way that we will be proud of, the way they'll be confident, responsible for themselves as adults, and adult that we can depend on when the time arises. So let's go on to see one or two tips that we'll be talking about. I want to give us a mental health scenario that I want us to know that these things, the way it does affect people, our children that we're trying to protect. So let me tell you something. There's this 10 years old child, the moms, he shuffled between his mom's and his dad home. The mom has strict rules. She really has like strict rules. But when he get back from school, if he's staying in the mom's place, he has to do homework first. He has to make sure homeworks are done. He's gonna eat, take shower, wash hands. The rules are boom, 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 boom. As a mom, we're trying to make sure boom, 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 boom. Things are done the way we want. And so by the time he goes to that house, he can do video games. He said he will play games even to midnight, depending on how he wants. Sometimes he doesn't do his homework. The father doesn't ask. He doesn't want to eat what is provided. The father will always order stuff for him to eat. So it went like that. So Mom says dad is irresponsible because every time he comes from the dad's place, there's a laughs and then she's trying to pick up on where she stopped, with being strict and enforcing the rules. And then dad says mom is controlling. So the dad will tell the son, the mom is controlling, the mom feels dad is responsible. So this goes on between the two parents, and then the child learns what? What does he learn? He said, I have to act different in each place. So he knows how to pretend to switch his personality when he is either the mom's house or the dad's house. And if I tell dad what mom said, he will get upset. And then he said, if I tell mom I had fun in that place, she will look hot because she feels, oh, this guy is throwing away everything that I'm impacting into my child. Then he goes there and make him to be liberal, do whatever he wants to do, whatever he want to watch. He doesn't even check what he's watching on his iPad and can stay up till like midnight. So the mom will get hot and become really concerned. So what does he do? He start lying. He said he started lying, not because he's bad. Not because he's a bad person, but because lying feels safer than honesty. So the more he's trying to be honest, the more he thinks he's causing more problems and emotional issue between the two parents who are trying to, try to incorporate and try to this one say control, this one says responsible. So he start lying because he wants to protect them. He feels safer than being honest. And then fast forward to 15 years, what happened? 15 years later, he struggles in his relationship. He avoids conflict. He become people pleasing. He always want to please people. Always want to make sure nobody's hurt. This one feels better. You can't please the whole world. Do you want the whole world to come stand still for you? Because you carry people's emotion or concern about how people feel too much. And then he feels responsible for everyone's emotion. That is how it breaks children, not loudly, but slowly. There is a need for me to look deeper as parenting, as parents, in parenting, to make sure we are not affecting the party or the children that we are trying to protect. So, how does it affect the parents as well? I'm going to talk about parents, so not just the children. So, this can also affect the parents as well. So, it negatively affects parents too, even though we're trying to make sure I'm doing my best, I'm the better parents, I know what to do, the kids will like me more. We try to do some of this thing because we want to give our children the best. Parents can also be affected. Yes. So parents in this dynamic often, you know, experience chronic stress. Yeah. So the parents also experience what they call chronic stress because they are also stressing in trying to keep up with this standard of competition that everybody's trying to be, a good mom, a good dad, a good partner, good, 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 good. But what about the children in question? So it can lead to chronic stress for the adult and then bitterness. It can bring bitterness, unnecessary bitterness, and then financial pressure. Yes, because sometimes some parents will be like, oh, so if this is what he is doing to make my child feel like this, I want to go there more, that means I'm going to do more. I want to do better. They want to do better. It becomes a pressure, financial burden on the other parent, and also emotional exhaustion. It becomes emotional exhaustion and also feeling replaced by the other household. So it becomes a constant struggle. But in all these struggles, let's not forget that the children are involved. Let's not forget that these kids we're trying to protect, we're trying to raise, we're trying to give the best. They are also involved. So yes, that's true. So soon develop into some of this chronic stress, financial pressure, exhaustion, and all of that can also develop into depression. Yes, it can develop into depression. It can cause anxiety. It can cause resentment patterns and burnout for the other party. So we need to think carefully. Try to do things better when it comes to parenting. So are you guys still with me? So it's your girl bringing parenting tips that helps us raise emotional, that helps us raise confident, responsible children that we will be proud of, as parents. Whatever you are trying from, kudos to you. Good job. It's not easy, but we are getting there. I'm saying this out of experience, especially parents here in the United States, we go through a lot. Like I said, I always tell you guys the stress, and everything that is involved. It's not easy, but we are gonna pull through. It's not easy, guys. It's not easy. Work stress, you're going for one job, sometimes you got two jobs, sometimes you come in, you got two, but we're still doing our best and we're really bringing out beautiful children, beautiful ones. Oh yeah, so I want to talk about this, the impress the kids circle. All right, so some parents overcompensate. You gotta know. Okay, so I don't want to push this too much, but because some might think, oh, because they have too much, so it looks like the little they do appears to be too much in the eyes of people who are parents who are struggling. But I tell you, some parents overcompensate. More gifts, no discipline, becoming the fun parent, avoiding correction to stay liked. You don't want to correct your child when the child comes over to this house. You don't want to correct them because you want them to like you. You want them to cut more. You want to give gifts that they don't even need as kids. Why? Because these kids need to change houses and come to different parent house. So you want to stay the favorite one. But this is the truth. Children don't need a fun parent. huh, they need a stable parent. They don't need a fun parent. They need a stable parent. So what am I saying? Children don't really need the fun. You want to be fun and forget your duties as a parent. You want to be friends and you don't want to take up that responsibility. So when you're supposed to see the um the benefit of them becoming adults, you're not gonna see it. Because you choose to be a fun parent when you're supposed to be what stable parent. And you know what? They need a stable parent because it is very, very important. If you are consistently trying, your child's affection, your parenting from insecurity and not leadership, it becomes a problem. And children feel safest when adults are emotionally secure. That's the way they feel. They feel more safe when adults are emotionally secure. So that's the truth of the whole matter. So what should we do instead? That's why I said, don't go away. Stay with me today. We are going to complete this video. No booze in the house. No kids coming in to say, hey, mom, you don't do this, you don't do that. You got to practice what you preach. Sometimes even if you don't practice what you preach, someone needs that advice out there so they can do what you preach. It works better for different people. So let's go, guys. So like I said, so what should we do instead? As parents of kids coming to different houses or even staying in the same house and we're trying to parent them, teaching them the way that is right. One of the things we need to do instead is parallel respect. Number one thing you got to do is what is called parallel respect. So even if you don't agree with your ex, never tear them down in front of your child. Even you guys, it was a messy separation, it's still hot, there was bitterness. Don't tear them down in the presence of your child. You are shaping how your child sees them, which is very, very wrong and negatively impactful. So, authority, relationships themselves also. So, half of your child is that other parent. So, that is one thing I want you guys to know. Half of your child is that other parent, just like half of you is the child as well. So, these two of you came together and produced this beautiful, beautiful gift that God has given unto you guys. So the least you can do is tearing them down with your own emotion, tearing them down with your own thinking, with your own selfish desire. Or because of the bitterness, you do what they call transfer of aggression. You transfer that bitterness into trying to corner the child to be on your side. The child does not know, he's innocent. So now we're talking about the parent and what we can do to make this better. So what am I talking about? So when you insult the other parent, the child fears and he hears and it makes him or her see the other parents the way you have presented them in their present. So that is really, really bad. It's really, really bad. So we need to do better. We need to do better. We need to do better. Respect is mutual. Teach your child by showing it because children learn faster with what they see also and what they hear than the one we tell them most of the time. So we're still going ahead to parenting tips that helps us raise confident, emotional children that we will be proud of, and then consistency across homes. So when we're looking at the things that we are supposed to be doing is consistency across homes as much as possible. We need to communicate. Even though you guys are no longer together, there is a need for communication for the sake of the child that is in between the two homes. And then align on basic rules, similar sleep routines. You got to talk with the other parents and make sure things are going the way they are supposed to go. And the same core values, agrees on discipline, approach. You don't have to be always fighting my style, my style. It's not supposed to be like that. And so you don't have to be best friends, you just have to be mature. It comes with maturity. This is what we have to do, to see positive outcomes and then keep children out of adult conversation. This one, I want to tell you guys, when it comes to adult conversation, you want to keep the children out of it. Children need to grow up as children. Yes, they need to grow up as children and not growing up as adults. So you want to try as much as you can to keep the children out of adult conversation. And so they should never be, carry messages, hear financial disrupt, be asked to choose, be told adult details. Protect their innocence, please. What did I say? Protect their innocence. So Therapy is strength, not weakness, anyways. So family therapy is very, very good. Recommending, I am recommending family therapy from the perspective of a mental health provider. Yes, I will recommend family therapy. Very, very good. Beautiful. And then co-parenting counseling. Co-parenting counseling is also another great one. And also child therapy, sometimes beneficial. I can tell you that. And then, prevention is easier than repair. Oh my goodness. Prevention is easier than repair. In health wise, I will tell you guys, preventative care is better than, secondary. You want to, instead of you trying to, treat and manage, you want to stop. You catch it before it happens, That's why it's good to go to primary care, have a provider to follow up, and don't just wait to end up in the emergency room. Some people don't have providers, they don't visit their primary care, they don't do physical, and the thing hit them up and they just wait until it's like a blown. They end up in emergency. But guess what? A lot of things have already gone wrong. I tell you guys this. I had a patient who when I was working at the bedside full time, the patient came in, never been to a primary care provider, never seen an outpatient provider. He doesn't have any. Came in at the age of 60, that far. But he came and walked into the hospital because he was having some chest pain. From there, the follow-up blood pressure was in the 200. Boom! Before you know it, they tried to bring down, put this, do that, put some cardiac drips. And before you know it, they found out he had CAD, he had that one. There was occlusion to his leg. Before you know it, oh my goodness, he was sent to rehab. Came back again, pain, pain, pain. They tried to salvage the limbs, but that did not work. He ended up with one amputation. Boom. Whoa, it was a lot of comorbidities. He ate him up for so long, but he saw the signs, he ignored, went on with his life, and but it got to a point that little things could have prevented. Some like the blood clot, the occlusion, some atorvastatin could have helped, reduce the cholesterol level. Some anticoagulants could have helped prevent the blood clot, and the AFib that he was in could have been an Eliquis or something to help him. But never, never been. He ignored the signs until it was so bad. Went to rehab, came back. I saw him after, so how you doing? All things getting worse. End up with a second amputation. Sent back to rehab, chronic rule, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. His life just phew. So had it been this was prevented or saw, earlier on, catch, a lot of things would have been done better. Or maybe the kind of food he was eating, maybe all he needed was change of diet. So like I said, it's always good to prevent than to treat or repair. So let's try better as parents to do better for our kids. So that's what I always advise. Parent, patients, everybody to look into the aspect of trying to prevent things other than fixing things. So it's just story for emotional impact. Like I work with a lot of teenage people as well, and then I'm gonna skip the story for some other time because I just want us to get close to the main point. So let me ask you, how are you holding up? As a parent, how are you guys holding up? I know it's not easy, but single moms, single dads, widows, widowers, blended families, and co-parenting warriors. I call you guys warriors because it's not easy. When people co-parent, it's not easy. You don't like this person, but you got to communicate in an environment that is pleasing because someone needs to be protected. You have this bitterness going on. It hurts so bad. But you just have to because there is someone that we want to protect who is innocent of the whole kata, kata, booze that has been going on, guys. So it's not easy. So I refer to them as warriors. So that's what I want to ask you guys. How you guys holding on? Holding up is not easy, but we're gonna get through. But if you are intentional, if you're emotionally regulated, and then if you choose maturity over ego, trust me, your child will grow up respectful. Your child will grow up to become that adult you want to be proud of. Your child will grow up to be that responsible, focus, child that you want to be, oh wow, thank God for this child, I'm grateful for this child. And so your children will grow respectful, confident, secure. I'm proud of both of you. And at the end of the day, they might not even end up having a tendency of having a broken home, because there's always something called generational children, always tend to. But when you guys do your best, it's not even like the percentage is not even not that much, like very little percentage of such can occur, because they still grew up with love, they were raised with love, and there was nothing to like competition or active parents and all of that. So that is something I want you guys to always think of. Yeah, so we're almost there. Like I said, guys, we did this today. No distraction, no booze, boo, booze. I'm really excited that we're getting this through today. So, like you guys know, as busy as I am, 4 kids, mental health provider, PRN nursing job, I still choose to grow. I always choose to grow. I always choose to grow, guys. I want to grow. I don't want to be in the place like, oh, this is where it is. So always put something down in the comment section. Comment section. Those of you that have been following me, those of you who are commenting, thank you. Kudos to you. I love you guys all. And we can always do this. We can always do better. Put down your comment, what you think, how we can help to, encourage each other to bring up children in the society that we definitely will be proud of. And you can say we can give that. But we can't give what we don't have. So you can't get love if you don't have love. So you got to love yourself. You have to love yourself. It's not easy, the hustle, the stress and everything, but we always trying our best. Try not to allow yourself to be, overwhelmed, always want to do deep breathing. You want to relax yourself. You want to look at some tips that can help you go through the night, sleep hygiene. And this is going to help us relax, because sometimes when the mind is blue, we can't get it right. And we're going to have outbursts, and whoever is around us can get the negative impact. So, guys, let's have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. It's almost, we're going there. The week is still on, but at least, I just want to wish everyone the best, and stay tuned, guys. The next one is coming. The next one is coming. Listen to this very carefully, and I promise you, you are gonna be happy that I made this video, guys. See you next time. It's your girl bringing you parenting tips that helps us raise confidence and what respectful children that we will be proud of. You have a blessed, blessed, blessed day. See you guys. Love you. But please don't forget to subscribe. I'm not playing with that one. Don't forget to subscribe. You guys need to subscribe. Oh, please subscribe. Thank you, guys.